All right, hello, welcome traders. It's Monday, March 31st, 2025, last day of the month. Thank goodness the month of March is now over. We can move on to April. Who knows what's in store? We've got crazy tariff day coming up on the 2nd. Who knows what's going to happen? It's up, it's down, it's sideways. Who knows where the market's going? All we know is that we got a trade plan and we're going to keep sticking with that trade plan. So, month is over. How'd we do for the month? Let's just get into that, talk about that. Then we're going to look at the markets, and then I'm going to give you a couple different trade opportunities there. But I want to also talk about where do you think we're going to go in the month of April? And let's look at the charts. I've been on Twitter and a few other things, or X, or whatever the heck it is now. And we've been talking to our members. And I have said for weeks that this thing ain't over yet. That last rally was not the rally that we were losing momentum on volume, going to roll over and roll over. We did Friday. And then today, selling off early, rebounded late, decent volume today. We'll see. Was this it? Did we just touch the bottom? Or is that dreaded H pattern going to continue? Do we break the lows at 5,500 or so? And a lot of these stocks all look exactly the same. So the market and the stocks all look the same. They got the H. Okay. And if that H pattern breaks to the downside, boy, it can be some more ugliness ahead. We'll see. What's going to happen when the reciprocal tariffs come out on Wednesday of this week? How's the market going to act? Now, today, maybe people have just had enough and figure, oh, like, the bad news is pretty much in. How much worse can it get? Just wait and see what they do on Wednesday. But let's talk about the account and go through it for the month. Not the greatest, month, not the worst month. I saw a lot of people just blowing up all over the place. We didn't. We just kind of had a nothing month. This is a nothing burger. I feel like we worked hard this month to get nowhere. All right, let's uh, jump into the accounts here and look at the account. All right, so I just lost my ability to change here. Let's see. Sorry about all that. All right, here we go. Here's the account. Here's where we ended up at the end of the month. As of today, our delta 0.3, a little bit more positive delta than I would like, but there's a good reason for that. So we'll talk about that. Theta 1016.27, not too shabby on the theta end of things. Netlick ended up at 378,587, which was absolutely a nothing move basically for the month. You can see over here that our Netlick dropped 1,500 for the month. Okay, we were down 0.39 of a percent. So 0.39 of 1% was what we were down for the month. We did book some uh, a little bit on our hedges. We took a hedge today that came off. That's what knocked us down at the end of the month. We lost a little bit on our 112C. We made a bunch on our Strangles. We lost just a little bit on our 11X bear trap trades overall, but really nothing terrible. We made a boatload on zero DTE, almost $8,000 on zero DTE. So we just kept cranking on that while the markets just gyrated up and down. We did close out one of our poor man covered calls for the loss. Instead of just keeping it going, I decided to exit, and that was a Tesla one. So we took a little bit of a loss there. We got some money from Bill. We got some money from Spec Trades, and that's pretty much how the month went. We ended up down, this is weird, we ended up down 1,500 in realized and 1,500 exactly on net lick. I mean, how's that happen for the month? I'll take it. Considering that the markets were down, quite a bit more than that for the month. In fact, when we look at the market was down, 5.86% in March. So the markets dropped 5.86%, and we were down 0.39. So we really outperformed the market by over 5%. That's pretty doggone good in a crappy market by 5%. If we look at the year to date, let's get back to that. I'll reshare that with you. Not sure why we got out of it anyway, but let's take a quick look. I mean, year to date, we've made $34,600 in realized gains. So we've still made, we're averaging over 10,000, 11,000, almost 12,000 a month, somewhere in there in income. We're up over 9% for the year in realized gains, while the markets are down 4.32%. So we're up 9.39 in realized income. The markets are down 4.32. So we are smoking the markets in gains. The only reason our net lick is down, primarily, it's all in our SPY leaps. None of them have closed for a loss. We're not even at halfway to a loss on the SPY leaps. But that's where we're sitting on some losses is our SPY leaps are just down in value. Just like anything that's long term, these are leaps. We're down. We're not out. We haven't stopped on any of them. We're not close to stopping on any of them, but we are down almost $18,000 just in value. We're at a full boat of 10 tranches of SPY leaps. That's the difference. If this market just gets back to where it was or just goes sideways for a little bit, those will all start to come off. Volatility is a little high right now, so that's also impacting those. It's nothing to do. We just keep trading. So we're in good shape. I don't really mind being flat. I was hoping to eke out a small game, but I had to take off some. I had to close a hedge today along some long puts. So we booked the loss today on those, even though we had a little zero DTE winner, but almost 9 grand on zero DTE. So it was nice to just chunk through some zero DTE, taking advantage of the higher volatility this month. I don't normally play it as often as I do or did this month, but I was just kind of stuck. I didn't want to spend too much money on my buying power. It wasn't bullish. I wasn't going to do anything. I just thought we'll just play what we see in front of us. And it was absolutely the right play for me, for us. All right, so let's take a look at the markets. I mean, it has been a nasty downtrend since the middle of February. We have been down, to the bottom of today, we were down 10% again. Okay, we've been down as low here as 10.2%. We rebounded a bit, so now we're only down about 8.25% off the highs back here in middle of February. But we got that H pattern. I talked about this, that you better know it because it's everywhere right now. Pretty long, strong down move here. A weak rebound, which look at the volume was just declining volume every day as this thing moved up into this bear flag. We broke the bear flag here, so you knew you were heading lower anyway. And then a nice little bounce off the exact bounce off the Bollinger Band today, and pretty close to a double bottom low. Now, I am not calling for the double bottom to be in, and then we're off to the races back to new all-time highs. However, it's a pretty nice move today on decent volume. The question will be, is there any follow through for tomorrow? And the markets were only up 30 points. So it's not like we had like a 100-point rebound, but it felt like it today because we had over a 100-point reversal from the 55.37 all the way up to the 56.52. So over a 100-point reversal. We talked about it in the Discord today. Most of our members were on board with that. I actually was able to place a bunch and not in a separate account. Made 4,400, not 44,000, 4,400 bucks just buying some long day trades today and some short dated long calls just to take advantage of this because you could see it happening throughout the day as we went through it. So if we get any follow through, we'll see. If not, we just take advantage of what we see and play into that. If we break this level here, this is what you got to be watching for. So there's what we're watching. Okay. That's the previous lows here, and that's exactly where we touched on today. So we'll be watching that. If we break that with volume, all bets are off. Maybe we go further. Okay. And if we're heading down here, what's next? I don't know, maybe something around 5,500, 5,300. Certainly thinking that in this range here, I'd say around 5,300 or so might be next. If you want to make yourself a little bit more sick, look at the monthlies. They don't look too good here, but let's trade what we see in front of us. Now, oil, on the other hand, huge day today. Okay, big day, moving up. Take these lines off of here. Oil back to the top of this anchored VWAP from here, and that's where we stopped. So the question is, does oil have any more left in it? I don't know. We'll see when you take a look at some of the news here. Uh, crude surges as President Trump threatens to curb Russian crude exports. Okay, so trying to sanction the Russians, okay, here and driving the price of oil up. I don't think that's going to most likely happen, but we'll see. Half of what he says doesn't happen anyway. He just likes to threaten everything. So we'll see. But the market has been apparently just too stupid to realize that half of the talk on tariffs and everything else probably gets reversed at some point. It's the same old story. It's the art of the deal, folks. It's threaten, threaten, threaten till you get what you want and then you back off. Okay. Or you just make idle threats anyway. Okay. I'm not saying good or bad or upside down, but it certainly puts the market into turmoil here. But apparently people thought, oh, geez, this is really going to hurt oil prices. No, it's not. Okay, but anyway, we're back up at the uh, anchored VWAP here on the daily, but nice move to the upside here. Now you've got stochastic momentum and RSI approaching oversold levels, but on the daily or on the weekly chart, just starting to get going. So, maybe we see some more follow through. Who knows? Here, maybe oil's going to just rip its way higher into the mid 70s. I just don't see it. I don't see a reason for it. You can sanction Russia all you want to. They are not the only supplier of oil in the entire world. And if we're going to drill, baby, drill, and if we're heading into the possible R word, the recession, who's going to be buying oil anyway? I think there's only so high that oil prices can go. But oil up today, strong. It was good for us. Overall, we're fine. We've got a 1-1-2 trade and a strangle, and not really either one of them in too much of a trouble. All right, so let's take a look at gold. Now, gold is the one that's just ripping to the upside. Flight to safety trade. Everyone's piling into gold. And we've got a reverse Jade Lizard, which is not the greatest trade right now, but we still have quite a bit of room to the upside. Gold getting definitely overbought. RSI is overbought on the daily. RSI is overbought on the weekly. Stochastic momentum is overbought. You're above the 3 ATR. You're above the Bollinger Bands on both the daily and the weekly. This thing's got some momentum behind it. There's a flight to safety here. However, if the market starts to recover a bit, I think you'll see gold maybe chill out a little bit here. That's what we could use, a little chilling out. If we don't get it, we're going to stop out before that happens. It's all good. It's one trade. Not too worried about that on gold. It sucks, but you can't win them all, man. Everybody wants to win every single trade. It's okay to lose some trades, folks. Okay? As long as you sized them appropriate. If we look, if you looked at my chart too, by the way, we won 49 of 62 trades for the month. Okay. We won 9 of 52 the previous month. We won 43 of 52 the previous month, and we won 16 out of 22 in January. So we have a 80%, 79.4% win rate. Okay. It's not a 100% win rate. I don't know why everyone thinks that every trade's got to win. Okay. And we play, out of the money, selling premium. It's going to give you a higher win rate, of course. Okay, but a couple losses, they're gonna get you. But if I have an 80% win rate, that means I'm going to lose 20% of my trades. Okay? I'm going to lose 1 out of every 5 trades. So get used to losing some trades here and there. If you keep them small and you keep them under control, you're going to be in good shape. So I'm not really too worried about that. Okay, I would be worried if I was only winning 50% of my trades by selling premium. Okay, I don't need to win 100. I just need to win 80. It gives me positive expectancy based upon our trade rules. All I need is that 80 to 80% win rate, and we're going to make a lot of money. And we've done so this year to the tune so far of $35,000 in this account over the course of, and which is up 9% in realized gains in 3 months. Okay. We're on track. Okay? It's exactly what we wanted was 3% a month, 2 to 3%. So 3% a month is what we're averaging right now. We're at 9.39, 9.4% in realized gains in 3 months. Okay? That is over 3% a month, 3.15 to be honest, 3.12, something like that. All right. So it's great. I love where we are. Everything is where it should be. And I can't I can't tell you how ecstatic I am to have outperformed the market so well in the month of March. Okay? While I'm watching other people who have just been buying longs, just getting smoked out there. Okay. And we're doing pretty well. All right, let's keep going here. I know I'm digressing. Bond futures, taking a look at the bond market. This thing has been moving nicely higher, has had a nice pullback, and today ripping higher. A little bit of a flight to safety for the most part, but if you think rates are going to continue to drop, okay, then bonds are going to be solid for this year. We bounced off the anchored VWAP yesterday and again today, and then rallied higher back up through the 21 EMA. We look good on the daily chart. Good momentum. I think this thing's in great shape to potentially keep moving a little bit higher. Okay, so overall, not too shabby today. Was up a lot more, came back down, ended up just fractionally, but it's all good. We've got a strangle trade on, and I will take this action all day long. Good strangle setup still. I still believe we have a great strangle setup on bonds. And if my buying power comes in a bit, we'll add some more to it. All right, copper starting to roll over a bit here on copper. It was way overdone, not surprising. I don't have a trade in here right now, but I think if you look to find an area just somewhere in this range over here, we could see the next leg up on copper if you think we're going to avoid recession and the global economy is going to keep cooking along. All right, silver has been doing pretty well. Just a nice stair step, higher highs, higher lows up. It's been a great trade most of this year. Here, I'm gonna, the Nasdaq, nice reversal today, a better looking reversal than the S&P had. However, it did break the previous lows where the S&P kind of held. Okay. Good volume, nice reversal candle. I think tomorrow's really, really important, and then probably Wednesday, we've got to see follow through here. If not, I think the H pattern here is going to get you. All right, taking a look at small caps, same type of a scenario down at these bottoms. It's exactly where we hit today. So a nice double bottom. It's all about the follow through. Okay. We'll see what happens there. And if we skip to some of these other charts, Amazon, okay, it had its H pattern. It broke it a bit today, finished off of its lows, but it's not doing great in here. Amazon has really, really, really been beat up. It's taking a lot of abuse, and I think it's the best valued company of all the Mag 7. I think it's the best deal out there. I think they're going to win on AI with robotics and everything that they need for their factories and shipping and all of that. I think they're going to win the retail battle. Everybody else is going out of business. Amazon's going to remain strong. I think they're going to win on pretty much every front, including the pharmacy front as well. I just like Amazon. I think it's a really good quality company here that has given up a ton of value, 50 points, okay, off of a 244 high or 240 down to 190 here. I mean, just an absolute beating on Amazon when we look from this top, okay, to really the bottom of today, down almost 24%, and even with where we closed today, down 22%, 22% in Amazon, below its intrinsic value. It is the deal of all the Mag 7, in my opinion. All right, taking a look at Google. Google broke the H pattern as well. And you can see here, you came down, bounced, broke it. Okay, this thing, no bueno, broke it hard on Friday. A little bit of a recovery today, but not as strong of a rebound here. I think Google's in trouble. I think they have problems, despite the fact that still strong on advertising. I don't think their AI product is worth anything. I do not like Gemini at all. I have not found it to be as good as either ChatGPT or Grok or any of those that are out there. They do have self-driving cars, so they are doing great with Waymo, but I think they're still going to be strong with YouTube. Everybody's on YouTube. I think it's a good company, not a great company. It's not Amazon, but I think it's getting pretty well beat up here to be a good value going forward. You're really starting to run in. I mean, do we start to even talk about this gap fill over here? Okay, so this gap fill is certainly very interesting, down about the 145 mark. I don't know. Are we going to get there? We'll see. On the gap fill, we're not far from this thing, and we are down in the after hours. Today, we'll see what happens. Nvidia also H pattern here, hanging in there off on the lows. Okay, broke them a bit today, trying to hang in there. Decent volume today. We'll see what happens. I just don't like the way the daily charts and the weekly charts look on this thing. There could be more pain to the downside on Nvidia. I think we could be looking at the 100 the 100 area. If we get to that 100, I think you've got to jump in on this thing at some point. All right, Tesla H pattern getting the bounce. You can see the H back up here, cracked down another H, rallied. So now we'll see. This one's more constructive than many of the other ones out there. I think you can start to look at potentially, does this trend line hold up? The daily doesn't look great. The weekly does look like we've maybe found some decent footing in here. Maybe some support along this line, which we came pretty close to talking. So maybe this 216, maybe that level is going to hold up. We'll see what happens. We need to see some more continued sideways to upward momentum. It's still in a downtrend on the weekly, still well below the anchored VWAPs. We'll see. And then Meta breaking the H. Microsoft breaking the H to the downside. Apple hanging in there. Yeah, a little bit like Tesla, didn't really break that H pattern for the second time here, and it's holding up. Apple holding up okay. Palantir, it's holding up okay. I'm not going to get into this thing anymore or do anything with it at this point in time, but it's holding up despite being overdone. And then I just want to touch base on Hood. Uh, yeah, a bit of an H pattern here. We'll see. Do we come down and test any of these lows on it? I don't know. We'll see. Certainly, there's bearish momentum every way you look at it here. Not a great volume day today on Robinhood. So I think you could see some more potential pain on this thing. But I do like the company, and I think it's an opportunity pretty soon. And I'll tell you what I did get in today. Uh, we did jump in on Boeing in the Lazy Trader account. So we got in here. I love the reversal candle today. It's really, you see the 21 breaking the 50, bouncing off the 200 today. All three of those are stacked. Even though we've got probably some downward momentum going on Boeing on the daily, the weekly kind of holding on in this, choppy, sideways channel. So we'll see what happens. And there's definitely a bunch of resistance in here. Okay. Maybe it's even lower than that to get more to get more of these in here. Some resistance there, and then you've got this channel down below. Okay. So Boeing just trading inside this channel, up, down, up, down, up. Now it's in the middle of the channel. I think it's a good strangle opportunity. We happen to just buy a leap on this thing, and we'll see how Boeing um, checks things out. You've got a little bit of a similar look here on Visa. I like the internals on Visa really starting to power its way higher. Great volume day today. The daily looks good. Had a nice pullback on the weekly to the 21 and bouncing. Visa has been performing pretty well. And then the last thing I want to touch base on is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin remains in this downtrend here. So you can see it pretty clearly on the weekly downtrend on Bitcoin. Doesn't look great. Okay, volume's not great. Seems to be rolling over all the internals. MACD is falling, RSI is falling, stochastic momentum's falling. The weekly getting a bit overdone. So we'll see if it can hold on to this 50-day moving average here on the weekly and can it reclaim this? But you're looking at a very impending death cross here as the 50 in purple is heading right towards this 200. I put it at somewhere out here. If we were to kind of figure out where these two might combine, maybe around Friday of this week, maybe Monday of next week, unless something really changes substantially, uh, and we get a rocket well above the 50, which I don't see happening. A death cross could be impending on Bitcoin. I did lighten up on some of my IBIT positions in here. This could be the wrong time. Maybe it'll reverse. But right now, it's a show me. Uh, we'll see what happens. Maybe it's not the worst time, but I really want to see what resolves with that death cross. All right. So there's a lot of things going on in the markets. Overall, good month of March. Kind of a break even, but February was the greatest trading month we've ever had. So overall for the year, we are up almost 9+% on the year, 3% a month in our realized gains. What more can you want? That's the plan. All right. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. If you thought this video was helpful and you got something out of it, click the like button down below. Give me the thumbs up. Click on the notifications so you can see when videos come out. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, why not? If you get one thing that helps you, you're going to be better off. And if you're not a member of the Discord, come and see what we're doing. Get some education and learn how to trade these markets that are challenging and trade with a group of people. Trade with other like-minded individuals. If you think this is great stuff, you got to see what we're doing in the Discord. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.